Sammy Davis Jr. kept a secret for decades. He had a storage unit in Burbank under a fake name, paid in cash every month. When it was finally opened after 30 years, investigators found more than just memorabilia. They uncovered letters revealing his real mother's identity, tapes that could ruin careers, and proof of what really happened with Kim Novak in 1958. Sammy documented it all. Born in Harlem on December 8, 1925, Sammy's parents, both vaudeville performers, had show business in their blood. But there was a secret. His mother, Elvira, was Cuban. At a time when anti-Cuban sentiment was strong, they kept this hidden to protect their careers. Even as a child, Sammy faced racism and the pressure to hide who he was. By age 2, Sammy was already performing with the Will Maston Trio, led by his father and family friend, Will Maston. Unlike most children, Sammy was dancing and singing on stages, learning to charm audiences, but missing out on a normal childhood. At 18, Sammy was drafted into the Army, where he faced brutal racism. Soldiers humiliated him, and he was subjected to horrific abuse. But despite the torment, Sammy found strength in his talent. His ability to perform became his shield. In 1951, Sammy's big break came at Kiro's nightclub, and after a memorable performance, Hollywood stars like Marilyn Monroe and Humphrey Bogart took notice. His career skyrocketed. By 1954, he was on Eddie Cantor's Colgate Comedy Hour and had signed a TV pilot deal. He was breaking barriers. But tragedy struck in 1954 when Sammy was in a car accident that cost him his left eye. Despite the setback, he returned to the stage just 8 weeks later, wearing a glass eye, and continued to captivate audiences. In 1960, Sammy found spiritual rebirth, converting to Judaism after reading about the Jewish struggle for survival, a journey that mirrored his own battles. Sammy Davis Jr. embraced his Jewish identity after Eddie Cantor gave him a mezuzah and spoke to him about faith. Though many mocked him, Sammy believed being both black and Jewish made him stronger, and he became a symbol of resilience and civil rights. Even as his fame grew, he faced relentless racism, particularly in 1950s Las Vegas, where he could headline shows but couldn't stay at the hotels where he performed or even eat in their restaurants. Sammy refused to accept this. With the help of the Rat Pack, he pressured casinos for change. By the early 1960s, he was earning $25,000 a week at the Sands and became the first black entertainer allowed to stay at the Frontier. By 1971, Sammy's efforts helped end official segregation in Las Vegas. Sammy was a true master of many talents: drums, trumpet, piano, vibraphone, impressions, jokes, dancing, and even gun tricks. His shows were full of surprises, earning him the nickname Mr. Show Business. In 1956, Mr. Wonderful opened on Broadway, written specifically for him. Despite harsh reviews, the show ran for 383 performances and earned back its cost. In 1964, Sammy starred in Golden Boy, playing a black boxer in love with a white woman, which sparked outrage and led to bomb threats and death threats. But his performance earned a Tony nomination. During this time, Sammy also marched with Martin Luther King Jr. in Selma, risking everything for what he believed in. Sammy broke barriers in Hollywood, starring in Porgy and Bess, 1959, and Sweet Charity, 1969, and joining the Rat Pack in Ocean's 11, 1960. On TV, he became one of the first black entertainers to headline a primetime show with the Sammy Davis Jr. Show, 1966, helping pave the way for other black artists on television. Sammy's friendship with Frank Sinatra started in 1941, when Frank was 26 and Sammy was just 15. Frank helped Sammy countless times, like when he ensured Sammy's trio performed at the Capitol Theater and stood by him when Sammy was turned away from the Copacabana because of his race. Frank paid Sammy's hospital bills after a 1954 car crash and encouraged him to return to the stage. In 1960, their friendship shone in Ocean's 11, a film that made $5.5 million at the box office. By the late 50s, Sammy was earning $25,000 a week in Vegas, but segregation kept him from staying in the same hotels where he performed. Sammy became the first black entertainer to get free room and board at the Frontier, breaking the color barrier in Las Vegas. Sammy Davis Jr. didn't stop pushing for change. He supported civil rights protests and bought a stake in the Tropicana. His efforts contributed to Nevada's 1971 law ending hotel discrimination. When Sammy passed away in 1990, Las Vegas dimmed its lights for him, honoring a man who'd once been rejected by the city. Sammy's mark on film was undeniable. After Ocean's 11, he starred in Sergeants 3, 1962, Robin and the Seven Hoods, 1964, and other films that solidified him as a star in his own right. He helped change Hollywood's perception of black entertainers. Sammy's personal life was equally groundbreaking. In 1957, he fell in love with Kim Novak. Their interracial relationship, however, was too dangerous for the time. When the press got hold of the story, the mob intervened. Sammy was forced to break up with Kim to protect his life and career. In 1960, Sammy's marriage to Mae Britt, a white woman, directly challenged America's racist taboos. At the time, interracial marriage was illegal in 31 states. Their wedding was met with threats, and Mae lost her career at 20th Century Fox. Their family life wasn't easy either. Racism constantly followed them, but Sammy remained active in his children's lives. Sammy's struggles deepened after his divorce from Mae in 1968, leading to a battle with drugs and alcohol. His Beverly Hills home became infamous for wild parties, while his onstage persona remained electrifying. In 1970, he married dancer Altavize Gore. They adopted a son, Manny, in 1989, just before his death in 1990. Altavize stayed by Sammy's side through addiction and later, his battle with throat cancer. After his death, she was left with massive tax debt, losing their home and most of their belongings. Sammy's personal life was marked by struggles. After his death, his wife Altavize battled addiction and poverty. Despite this, she fought to keep his legacy alive through charity work. Sammy's own addiction to gambling drained him financially. He earned over $50 million in his career, but died owing the IRS over $7 million. His generosity and bad business deals added to his troubles. However, Sammy's career had major highs, like his 1972 hit The Candyman, which topped the charts, earning him a gold record. I've Gotta Be Me, released in 1968, became his anthem, a statement of defiance after the racism and hardships he faced. Sammy's success in Las Vegas helped break down racial barriers, and his dazzling performances made him a Vegas legend. On TV, Sammy broke barriers, hosting one of the first network variety shows by a black entertainer. But his personal demons continued to follow him. His struggles with alcohol worsened, and his marriage to Mae Britt fell apart. Despite kicking cocaine, his battle with alcohol remained. In 1987, Sammy reunited with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin for the International Farewell Tour. The tour was a massive success, even with Dean Martin leaving early due to health issues. After traveling the globe, Sammy's health took a devastating turn in 1989 when he was diagnosed with throat cancer. The years of smoking caught up with him, and he was forced to make a painful decision: have surgery to save his life but lose his voice, or risk radiation to preserve his ability to sing. Sammy Davis Jr. battled cancer until his death in 1990 at 64. Despite millions earned, he owed $7 million in taxes, leaving his estate worth just $4 million. His wife, Altavize, faced years of financial struggles and sold their mansion. In 1991, an auction of his belongings raised only $439,000, with many items missing. Later, a hidden storage unit was found, revealing a plot to protect his items from the IRS, with an employee implicated. Please subscribe to our channel for more videos, and don't forget to press the bell icon.